Well, it's Boxing Day 2016, and for Christmas this year I decided to give myself something which I've always wanted, my own recording studio. So this brick garage behind me is the structure that I'm going to build my studio into, and I'm going to use one half of it and build a really good room in there, and the other half will just be a workshop. Now, I mean, you might be wondering, why don't I just build one huge studio, use the whole space as a recording studio? Well, first of all, I actually need a workshop too. I want to have somewhere where I can, get dirty, use tools and make stuff. But more importantly, that would cost almost twice as much, and my budget doesn't extend far enough to do a proper double room studio like that. So the single room studio that I'll be building, it'll be a room that will allow me to do everything that I would want to do. Drums, mixing, vocals, guitars, everything I would possibly want to do I can do in this one room. That's the way I've always recorded, and it's really the only way I think I'll ever need to record. I've never really needed two rooms, it's just not the way I work. So this is going to be great for me. So a recording studio has to be built like a room inside a room. The inside room's soundproof and the outside room's soundproof, and as long as they don't touch each other, you get huge soundproofing benefits. If you look on the floor here, you can see where I've marked out where the two rooms are going to go. The blue lines on the outside, that's the outside wall, and that's going to be a stud wall running all the way down the room and touching the wall on the other end. It's going to touch the bricks, and the bricks then become the outside wall all the way around there, and then we've got another blue line that runs along the entryway and they meet up there. So that's the outside wall. The windows are going to be blocked in. We're going to remove those and fill them up with bricks, and the ceiling will be sheeted with double layer plasterboard and green glue. The other thing I should mention about the ceiling is that these roof trusses were never designed to take the load of the plasterboard that I'll be hanging on them. There's going to be about 400 kilos of plasterboard, and these are not designed to take that weight. They're just designed to hold up a tin roof. So I'm going to have a structural engineer coming tomorrow, a professional whose job is to calculate how much load these trusses can take, and he's going to tell us what we need to do to strengthen them up or support them so that they can take the weight. If you don't do that, you run the risk of the ceiling actually collapsing and falling down on you when you're inside the studio. That could be fatal. So it's really important that any structure that you're putting in here can actually take the weight that you're going to be hanging from it. The outer room is going to have about 400, maybe 450 kilos of plasterboard on it, and the inner room is going to have a little bit less than that because obviously it'll be a smaller area. That's almost a ton of weight above your head when you're inside the studio, so you don't want to muck around with that. So the white lines that you see along the edge, that's going to be the inner room. That's going to be constructed almost the same way, but it's inside the outside room, I guess. So that white line you see running along there, that's going to be a new stud wall running all the way around, and that'll be green glued with double layer plasterboard as well. Up at the front, this will be where the entryway is. We're going to have a double door. So a normal household sized door about that big, and either side of that, built into the walls, is going to be a ventilation silencer box on each side. When you've got an airtight room, you need fresh air going in and out. So the pink lines here indicate where the ventilation box is going to go. It might not seem very big, it's 30 centimeters by about 85, but it's going to be almost the same height as the door, 2 meters or so, so up to there. Down on the floor here, we're going to have a vent which draws the old air out. That's going to go through a series of passageways up and down until it goes out the other side on the outside of the building. On this side, we've got the opposite. We've got an intake on this side, which will be down low, and that's going to snake its way through a series of passageways and come out the top, and the fresh air will come in there. The air conditioner is going to go in the middle of the room, right where that window would be, and that's pretty much it. So fingers crossed, over the next 10 days I'll have a studio.